Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Tuesday topic here on Patreon. Matthew, Barry has been in touch.
Tuesday topic: who are the players you think we should sign for the coming season and why? Cheers, bye bye.
Cheers, Matt. There you go. Simple, straightforward, Tuesday topic. Well, maybe it's not straight, but what I mean in terms of the video, that's what we like to see. That's what we want more of.
No messing.
No messing about. Doesn't even have to be the Tuesday topic. It can be anything to get us talking on about a video and get it to us, and we'll do it. So who would you like to see? The manager's in. The director of football is in. They are at it. They're straight into work, and they are looking for players. Who would you be looking for, Baz, to bring in?
So no pressure, just
straight in.
Marcel Brands and me off.
Yeah.
Well, positions wise, I think we'd all be agreed we need another centre back, and I think we need a left back in that back four.
Yeah. So centre back.
A centre back. I'd be looking to get short of Funes, Murray and Williams.
Alright, forget about who we're getting rid of. I'm not asked. I couldn't care less. That's not what he asked. Matthew's not asking that question.
He's asking me.
He's not asked that question.
He wants me to justify.
No, he doesn't. That's a different video. We can get a different video out of that, Baz. Jesus Christ. Not worked out of this works yet. I'm not signing Jesus Christ.
Great beard. I think yeah, he did have a great beard.
Sorry, that means something else.
Someone like... It's hard, right? And I'll tell you why it's difficult for this. It is for this position.
No.
It is. Because...
I've got one.
Well, I would... If you're going to go with youth, like a young centre-back, then Alfie Mawson at Swansea...
Here's a name.
...is a good player, right?
Yeah.
Or the Lit at Ajax. I don't know whether we could get him. He's 18, but he's proper quality. But do we need... should we be targeting...
Yeah.
A more experienced centre-back? We've seen the problems that Michael Keane's had this season at times.
Not been very good at football.
We know that he's better when he's got Jagielka alongside him. I think Mason Holgate can grow into a tremendous centre-back. But at the moment, we need someone to go with Keane, because I love Jags, but I don't want to be relying on Phil Jagielka. So so it depends what you're looking at. If you're looking at experience, you've got a 27, 28 bracket. We need someone who's probably comfortable on the ball.
Yeah.
To play in that position. Chris Smalling has been mentioned, but no. Evans I think is too old, but £3 million, very good though. I'd probably go with Mawson. I would. Okay. I'd probably go with Mawson.
Lascelles. Does he not fit does he not tick every box? Well, he's a leader. He's a natural leader.
He's a good defender. Yeah.
He's a natural leader. Captain of Newcastle.
Yeah.
So he's a natural leader. He's young. He's left-sided.
Honestly, I'm not sure.
Can create a young partnership that could grow. Or even if he doesn't create a partnership,
he can with Holgate.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I think he fits the bill. Now, whether...
I don't know whether they'd sell him, to be honest, and I don't know whether he'd want to come here.
Alright, well, they're two different they're two separate questions. But I think Newcastle would sell. I think Newcastle would sell any of their players if the price was right. The price will be expensive, because they would be looking at the market and thinking, well, he is our flagship player to sell, so therefore he's going to cost a few bob.
So if they wanted 40 million for him,
no,
would you pay that?
No, I wouldn't. Of course I wouldn't.
Because there's European.
Of course I wouldn't. No, I know. But what I'm saying is though, that's the problem I think we faced this summer, is that last summer we paid a lot of money for players, and the teams will see us and go, well, they'll prepare to pay it again. But I imagine this is where we might start looking away from the Premier League now, because if you buying within the Premier League, you are going to pay that premium, and because they don't have to sell, the price goes up. So he is a perfect fit, but unfortunately that price, and this is where there's a but, is because Newcastle, with their owner currently, would be prepared to sell, I think.
But again, I wouldn't want us paying that kind of money for it, because I think you could probably get European centre backs who wouldn't cost that much money, who have got more experience. Manolas at Roma sell everyone. I think you could get him. I think, listen, the ideal one would be Koulibaly, but you're talking probably upwards of 50 million for him. But he's a good age, he's pacey, he's a monster. You know,
he's not realistic though.
But he's probably not realistic now. He was a couple of years ago, because he was unsure of his positioning, but he's got better and better. So it's, again, like you say, you know, Morse and Swansea being relegated, so that straight away knocks their bargaining power down a little bit with him. He's left-sided, he throws himself in the way of shots and stuff, decent on the ball. Is he a leader?
My only worry about him is that, like what you've just said there, has he got the leadership qualities to help Keane? I think it's one of them, isn't it? It really is a dilemma. It's if we're keeping hold of Keane, which there's no
reason to think otherwise. Yeah.
But then there's also no guarantees that we will. So if we do, I think if we keep him, the problem with that is then that asks for a particular type of centre back, and I think that's a problem. It narrows down the field. Whereas
it does to us, but to someone like Brands,
I think it does. No, but I think it does. I think if you go on, you know, if you go on like Football Manager game, right, and you've got to put in the parameters of what you want to sign, I think that makes the parameters even smaller.
Might look at it totally different than the way, say, you look at it. I look at Michael Keane and just think he started off very well. He got an injury which was bad. He played through the injury, which affected his form. He then started making mistakes and looked shaky, you know, resulting in him being out for a while. He had to then go and have an operation to sort it. He was out for a while, he came back in, and he got better and better when he was back in. Still exposed at times, still made mistakes at times. But, you know, we've got a new manager in there now who might actually coach him and talk him through.
I don't think it's about coaching, Baz.
A year before he was brilliant, and a lot of clubs wanted him.
And that's what worries me. What worries me about him is that a year before he was, but that last season he took a massive dip, and it comes from confidence, and I that's where I worry about him. I just think some players, you just think, have you got the stomach for it? I don't know if he has, but the club might look at it and go, well, look at someone like Holgate. He has got the stomach for it. He can be coached. We can put someone alongside him who's a good defender, who doesn't need to naturally be a leader, because Holgate to me seems like he is a bit more of a leader. I think that'll be an interesting dynamic to see which
I think if Allardyce would have stayed or something, or Moyes would have been in charge, we'd have gone and probably bought Ryan Shawcross from Stoke, because they've gone down.
I'll never understand why anyone thinks he's any good.
What I'm saying is he's a defender, isn't he? Not, I think they'd have gone for that, but I think we want the way Marco Silva's men line up, and just see Watford there, but it wasn't Silva's Watford. The way they line up, there's a specific type of player that he likes, you know what I mean? So it'll be interesting, but this is where Marcel Brands has got to come in. This is where he has got to use his experience and go, well, okay, Lascelles is one that a lot of people like the look of. How much? 35-40 million, unless they can give him Schneidlin and pay 20 million or something. Nah, well, you know what, there's this fella in Holland that can do a very similar job, and you know, and come in. Wesley Hoyt had a decent season for Southampton. I'm not saying go and get him, but I'm saying
like to think that the homework's already been done. I know they said in the press conference that it's about looking inside first. Well, hopefully they have already, and it's not a case of when they come back to pre-season. I hope it's a case of we've already looked at certain players within the squad by watching them, you know, the videos and all that kind of thing, and you'd hope that at that level these two fellas will be able to identify what works, what doesn't work, what can be improved on, what would suit the way they want to play, rather than it be, well, we've got to wait for the first game, you know, for pre-season. Well, pre-season doesn't start for a month. So I
think they know exactly. The pair of them have been prepped to come here for months, so they. But you wouldn't, if I said to you, you're taking over at this club in 4 months' time, 3 months' time, you're not going to go, sound, right, I'm just going on holiday and I'm doing whatever, I'm building a shed in the garden. You'd be looking, going, right, because you know that Marco Silva isn't stupid. He knows that there's a lot of question marks over him for length of time he stayed and stuff. He's left Watford not on great terms, and he knows that there's a lot of people now questioning him. They were questioning him when he came into the country, the famous Paul Merson and Phil Thompson thing. So he knows that, you know, what he has to do. So he will have been looking and watching and scrutinising so that he hits the floor run when he gets here. So he's going to come in and go, I've seen a lot of these players. There'll be a lot he hasn't, because Allardyce wasn't great at rotation. But there'll be a lot of footage of Everton playing the last few games of the season that he can look at and go, yeah, I don't like the look of that, and he won't fit my thing. There might be players that are undecided on. Do you know what I mean? So I think we might be looking at it a little bit differently than what he's looking at it, because he might be thinking. But
it's about buying good players, isn't it?
Moving on. We need a left back, because Baines is not getting any younger. I still love Leighton Baines, and people write him off far too quickly. I still think he's a good player. Again, though, looking at the system, Marco Silva's, I know we'll do a bit more on him, but just generally his system involves his fullbacks getting forward. They had the width, so that puts a little bit of a question mark over Baines. We've seen Anthony Robinson make his debut for United States last week and had an assist, and by all accounts got man of the match.
But he was all right. He played well. The opposition were garbage, but he played well.
But I don't know whether
he might suit the system because of the way he gets forward. But you know, in terms of Danny Rose has been muted. I mean, Danny Rose would be a fantastic signing.
He'd be one who had, if there was any chance to get him, I would go and get him.
Yeah,
because he's 27.
Yeah.
So you're talking 5 years till he's at Baines.
I mean, if you want a statement signing, I mean, that would be a statement signing, because you know, he's been linked with Man United. That was one of his big problems last season. There was talk, you know, the talk was he wanted to go to United. Walker was obviously at City, he was his mate, and he wanted to go to United to try and win trophies. I mean, that would be a bit of a step down if he suddenly decided he wanted to go to Everton, as you know, to go from a Champions League team. But Pochettino's the type of fella that seems to make his mind up about people. You know, if you're not on board, then fuck you. Point, you know, Alderweireld couldn't get in the Tottenham team towards the end of the season. He moves on very, very quickly. I like that actually about him as a manager, is that he doesn't get caught up in all the bollocks about, you know, it's like, well, if you're not with me, I haven't got time for you. I've got someone else there who can play. So you know, and it's all about being committed, and that's great. So Danny Rose would be ideal, although maybe you know, if he came available, I imagine other teams would want to go for him.
But it depends who, you know, be looking above us. He's not going to go from Tottenham to Arsenal, is he? City don't need him. United may need him.
United would need him. But then if he went to United, then suddenly there'd be a question mark. Well, there wouldn't be a question mark. Luke Shaw.
Well, he'd be gone, wouldn't he? So, yeah, I mean, you know, he would be an ideal one. There's the kid at Bristol City, Joe Bryan, who, again, do we know, can he do it at this level? We don't know, but he looks a very good prospect. So left back, most definitely. There's the lad Rodriguez at AC Milan, who apparently is being allowed to leave.
There's also
and he's a fantastic
there's
player.
Also the guy who we've been linked with quite heavily over the last few months, Fabre, the Colombian left back who we've been linked with quite heavily, and there was a lot of talk of him 5 million, but Boca wanted 10 million for him, which wouldn't really be much of a stretch really if you're looking for an international left back. I mean, you know, he's the kind of player that in the next few weeks, his value could go through the roof. You know, if he has a decent World Cup, we've seen it so many times.
There's him, and there's a couple of lads in Germany who were really good young lads.
Yeah, well, there's the kid who was
Max. What's his name?
Meyer. Not Max Meyer. He's a midfielder.
He's a midfielder.
Yeah. We've mentioned them before on the news daily.
There's a couple of left backs who were. One's got the top assists and is just a fantastic player. So there's a couple of people there who you'd expect Marcel Brands to know a bit about as well.
Yeah.
So there's options there. What's clear is we need something to build us up on that left hand side, and whether it's Anthony Robinson, we don't know. I mean, there was a time you thought it might have been Luke Garbett. It's never going to be Luke Garbett now.
No.
There's a time there was a possibility it was going to be Brendan Galloway. I don't know.
I think those kind of players you've got to draw the line under, haven't you?
I think they're finished, aren't they? So Robinson or another, you know, and then you go into midfield. I'd like to see a central midfield player who can do more than one job. I think that's a problem with us.
Yeah.
I think, you know, Garner's sound. I think he'll play the silver weight quite well with the pressing side of it.
I think we need a physical, powerful centre midfielder who can get round the pitch. That's what all the top sides have now.
Yeah.
You know, in different variations. I mean, you look at City, they've got you know, they had Yaya Toure, who was almost the definition of what you need. His work rate doesn't suit.
No.
And he's 34 now,
35.
Isn't he? So
he's gone to West Ham with Pellegrini.
But his work rate didn't suit Pep Guardiola when he came in. It didn't suit him when he was at Barcelona.
No.
They've got what's his name in there now?
Well, they have Fernandinho.
Fernandinho, who is, for me, the epitome of a modern centre midfielder. Because what I like about him is, and I noticed this a lot when we played him, is he's the deepest player in the attack. But what that means is that even though he's a holding midfielder, he'll sit on the edge of the opposition's box, and that just basically says to the rest of the team, you play in that box. And that I could, at other clubs, he'd be 10 yards back, but then what he's doing 10 yards back is he's allowing the opposition 10 yards of space to get out. So when he's sitting there, he's everything's going through him.
You've got to be able to get up and down the pitch.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. He's the epitome of a modern day player. You know, in that position, you don't get past me. I'm not going to sit in front of the back four. I'm going to sit as far forward as I can, because I know once that ball breaks, I've got to be onto it straight away to get the possession back. Or on the flip side of that, everything went through him as well at Goodison. Everything went through. You know, you talk about Kevin De Bruyne and Silva. Everything went through him that day. You know, give it back to me, I'll give it back to you. Give it to me, I'll give it back to you. I'm safe in, and that's what a modern centre midfielder's got to do now. If you're not the bag of tricks, that's fine, but you've got to be able to do that job. And you know, Nzonzi seems to be a player who fits that bill. I don't know whether we go, you know, we'd look in that direction again. These are all simple.
He's 30 as well.
Carvalho is someone being linked with.
He's interesting, Carvalho. You know, he's a good age. He's big, strong lad. But you don't know what.
Why hasn't someone else took a punt on him?
That's the thing.
You know, has he got the pace?
Well, we were linked with him a few years ago with Martinez, weren't we? Martinez wanted him, and they were arsing about selling him. Then he done it again last year to West Ham, but no one else has really gone and got him. Decore is ideal, but Watford aren't going to deal with us. So it's that kind of physical player that can go up and down. That's what we're missing. Schneiderlin's got the height and stuff, but he can't run. Bless him, you know what I mean? And I think he should be, you know, I think it's time to draw a line under his Everton career as well. And you know, but that's what we need in there. We need someone who can get about the pitch.
Mobility, isn't it?
And stature. It's great having. You can have some little exciting players in your team, but you've got to have people who can. When United came to Goodison, they were all like athletes, the big
look at Pogba
and people like that. Now, all right, he's hit and miss Pogba, but when he's hit, he's big and strong. If you can't match him, He can just overpower you, and that's what we need. We need someone who will compete and can compete. And that's, you know, that's the thing that Marco Silva will be looking for. But again, ideally it would be someone like Decore at Watford, but I know that we can't get him, so you then having to look around. Carvalho probably sticks out as the one who you may be able to get, but we don't know. I mean, that's a tricky one again, you know, because it is almost like the metronome in midfield, something to just keep you playing and get up and down and get up and down. Silva likes his midfield players to break into the penalty area and support. So it's, you know, you've got to have people who can do that job.
I think that's the most important sign this summer. I really do.
It probably is.
I just think that if you get one and you get it right.
Yeah.
I think that it really does dictate how you play. And we don't have. I don't think we have anyone like that. I mean, I know what Ghana does, but it doesn't really dictate the game. He can break up the game, but he doesn't dictate the game.
No,
he doesn't put you on the front foot. He doesn't, you know, get up and down the pitch.
But that's the issue when him and Schneidlin play together. Neither of them do it. So you're breaking up and you're not going nowhere with it. So you can only really have one of those in your midfield. The other fella can break stuff up, but he's got to be able to play as well. And Nzonzi can do that. I'm just wondering with his age now whether that would be a smart buy. I think, you know, you've got to look at that kind of thing.
Yeah, because they'll be looking for the wages, won't they, as well?
Yeah, so you've got to get round. I think they're moving up further up the pitch. I think we're okay down the right. I think, you know, Balassi. I think I'll be listening to anyone who wants.
They'll be listening to offers.
To offers
Guaranteed.
for him. No, it's not happened. I think Luckman's got to be looked at most definitely.
Luckman fits the bill perfectly.
Most
I mean, you know, he fits the bill,
but I still would like us to. Maybe Lozano at PSV.
Well, that's
I know they were asked
the talk, isn't it?
Today, but he's an exciting, quick feet, can score goals. I think the other kid at Norwich, Maddison, who can play in the middle of the park, looks like Barkley, but with a little bit more of a brain. No, but just in terms of the way he moves the ball and passing, he can see a pass, and I think he looks like a real good option, you know. And I suppose.
It's money though again, isn't it?
But that's, well, 20, listen, if it's 25 million, that's nothing. He's 21 years of age. He knows Calvert-Lewin, Luckman, Kenny. He knows half of that Everton.
What I mean is though, that's a lot of money. It's got to be 100% right. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of money if you're not. But
like, it's the right kind of investment.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I understand that. It's just that with the outlay last year, it's about it. I'm not worried as such. I just think that there'll be a. I don't think they'll be throwing money at everything this summer. Clearly, they're going to be looking in. I think they're going to be looking at obviously getting as many off the books as they can, and then getting the ones they bring in absolutely spot on, almost like guaranteed players. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to miss out on a player who everyone looks at and goes, oh, I wish we should have signed him, but I just feel like they'll be trying to get all of these absolutely right.
They will, but we're also gonna be I still think we'll spend 100 million, maybe a bit more, because I think what Farhad Moshiri wants is to give Marco Silva and Brands the best starting base possible. Then your outlay, the need for more players reduces, but what you then do is say like what Liverpool have done, which you just buy better each summer.
Yeah, well, that's
and then
it.
You're improved. That's what you, rather than buying 8 every summer and going, well, these will be the 8 that fix it. You know, we're not talking about that, are we? I'm saying to you, realistically, a centre back, a centre midfield player. In an ideal world, I'd go and buy another centre forward. I really would. I'd have someone who, I'd go and get Dembele at Celtic, and you get him for 25 minutes. I think he can be shaped. I think he can be moulded. Or you look in Europe for another one.
I think what the most important thing is that we bring in players that fit the system, and ship players out that don't fit the system. So you never know. There could be players that go out the door, and you go, hang on. How come we're selling him? And it's like, well, it doesn't fit the system. So therefore,
we're gonna see that, aren't we?
He doesn't fit the system. So there's no point having him here. And by selling him, we're turning a profit and we're getting wages off them.
You've got to look at, you know, if we moved 8 or 9 players on, just for a start, you could recoup 70-80 million pounds there. right? And then you bounce that on top of the money that they're gonna lay out anyway. Yeah. And then you can buy some good quality. You might get rid of 9 and bring 5 in, and you go, well, that, and then the other bits of the squad, like your Garbutt's, your Galloways, people like that, Conor Grant, they might just go, you know, you can go for a couple of million each, get you at a club. You know, there'll be a lot going out the door, but we're losing a goalkeeper. We won't have 3 keepers. The other keeper will probably be Hewlett, the young lad. He'll probably do that, and won't have 3 experienced goalies. He'll probably have 2, and he'll probably try and do it that way. You know, we've got 3, 4 lads that can play right back. Yeah. You know, so maybe Marty. Yeah. So there's them kind of
play. A lot of questions which we'll be looking at and answering.
There's just, I mean, if there was just one player this summer who you think could really make a difference to this side, and we could, you know, within reason, I'm not talking go and get like Kevin De Bruyne or whatever, but within reason, who you think we may have a possibility of getting, who do you think, who would you pump for, who would you spend your money on?
I have no idea, honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've no. I sense a particular player I don't know, but a centre midfield that I think is what we need, because I think what we seen last season. I think when we seen Walcott come in and how he energised the right side, and when Seamus Coleman came back and Leighton Baines come back, and even having Shane Tosin up front, suddenly you had more of a blueprint of what you needed, and just players knowing what they were doing. And I think to establish a basis, I think that's what you need. But I still think that centre midfield is a massive position. I just think the midfield completely needs blitzing, completely blitzing. I think I could go as far as saying,
would you sell Garner?
I wouldn't sell him, but I wouldn't have any problems replacing him.
Like sub, like.
No, I think you need a healthy competition, don't you? You need healthy competition in your team. He's still a very good player. Maybe he just needs to be a bit more energised and have a different player around him.
Yeah, I think.
But look at Liverpool. Right, Liverpool have just been in a Champions League final, and they could have a completely new midfield next year. If they get what's his Fekir, is it you pronounce it? Fekir from Leon, who, fucking hell, if I could be anywhere near that lad I would be, because he's tremendous. Keita, the other lad they've just brought in, there's 3 new, that's a new midfield. And that, for me, I look at our team, and I look at Tosin, and I look at what we've got, and listen, I'm talking in every player can be improved, but I look at where we are, and I look at the front, and I look at Tosin, and I look at when he's playing for Turkey, or the goals he scored, and I just think, if that lad's got a supply line,
goals,
then we're halfway there.
Yeah.
Walcott, with, you know, Lookman, if you give him a run in the team and you start establishing what it, you know, a manager comes in and goes, I want you to do this for me. Sigurdsson, I think, playing as a number 10. Just the other night, playing for Iceland, he came on, and within a couple of minutes he scored. And the striker has a shot, comes out and he knocks it in. I'm thinking, you're a proper number 10, playing a proper number 10 position. Like, just playing behind the striker might get so much more out of him and so much more out of Tosin. And then, but to do that, you're relying on your midfield then to be doing the bits for you, to be getting up and down.
You see, I'd
rely on it.
I'd have no issue with Beningame and Davis being not in the midfield, but being part of that.
No, I know that's fine, but
and then having another top midfield player.
It's got to be a top midfield player. It's got to be someone who can get round. And I'm not saying a name here. I'm just saying it's got to be a player.
Got to be mobile.
They've got to be able to get round the pitch. The stride pattern's got to be fucking one box to the other in 4 stride. It's got to be someone.
It's just a pity that the relationship is what it is.
But hopefully, if he found one, then he can find another one. There's players out there, you see them every year. How did he get in? Where did he get in from? These players emerge. There's look at Dembele, the lad who's at Barca.
Yeah.
You know, one season at Dortmund, the season before, I remember watching the European Footy Show, which was a blessing for players like him, actually, because they were all, you could see them all in one place.
Yeah.
And I remember when he was playing, and he was playing for like I can't remember who it was, but they went a big side in France, and it was like so and so want him, and so and so want him, and so and so want him, and is someone going to take a chance on him? And you know, I watched him seen the other night for France, and the run he had, he hit the bar, phenomenal. He could have a real, I know he's been playing at Barca, but this World Cup could be absolutely like, he could become an household name if he gets it right in this World Cup. And you look at players like that, there are players out there, you've just got to get, you've got to have people who know where to look for a start, and look for know what they're looking for, and go, well, we can do something with him. And listen, I don't watch enough football to know about all these different players. I really don't. But I'd hope that they do.
Well, I think the thing about it is, I think what will be different this year to other summers that we've had is that the thing with Silva is there's a clear identity with his team. He plays a certain way, there's an identity. If you go and watch Hull, they played very similar to Watford. Watford had better players, so it looked better, but Hull got the job. I think they won 8 home games or something under them. They hadn't lost a home game for 3 years till Sunderland beat them on the last home game, and then Tottenham spanked them. Estoril, the same, you know, built from the back. People going on about him as Martinez, he does build from the back, but his teams all play very similar type. So there's an imprint, there's a blueprint rather of the way he plays. And I think with brands, it's easier if you've got a blueprint of the way you play. It's easier to sit down and go, right, we need a mobile, rather than going, which I think Walsh and Koeman did. Oh, that Davy Klassen's a good footballer, isn't he? Go and buy him. Oh, Sigurdsson's boss, isn't he? Go and buy him. Oh, Wayne Rooney's here and he's really good, he can play there, get him. And you know, oh, that Vlasic looked alright against us, he's a good footballer. And we bought good footballers with no idea where to play them. And I think that's why this year, I think the conversation would be very different. That's why I was saying to you early on in this discussion, they will have been looking for months and going, this is how we want to play, who's available, who, you know, what kind of player do we need. He's been on the phone to agents the other day, Friday, day one of his job, probably been on for weeks, but officially day one of his job. So you're right, you know, we might go, well, there's this fella in Holland who's 6'3" and can do there to there, and you know, whatever, he's quick, he's there, he gets around the pitch, take a chance. There's the lad in France who we've been linked with, have you rubbed his name off? There's a centre back, Diop, and there's the other kid, begins with a big Bissu or whatever his name is, who's a big
Diop.
No, there's Diop,
the centre back,
and there's the other kid, the centre midfielder, who's about 6'3" in France, who gets around the pitch, and a few clubs are looking at him. So there'll be them kind of players, you're right, and that might be, you get him in and we might go, oh, you know what though, I'd rather we bought Nzonzi. But this kid could come in, like when we got Ghana come in and people were going,
well, let's hope that when,
but, you know
let's hope that when these players come in, you know, they are left to, you know, to people aren't, well, who's he, again, it doesn't matter. No. If they know who they are, that's why I'm sort of, I laugh when I see like Everton tug of war for Joe Allen, and I just think, fuck off.
They're not.
You know, or whoever, or Shaqiri, Everton battle, you know, for Shaqiri, and you're just like, it's like paint by numbers, transfer window.
Well, that's all it is, isn't it? That's why, I mean, they do it to all the clubs, don't they? They do it to Liverpool. Liverpool are buying everyone every day, and you're just like, but they're not though, because they don't need him, and why would they buy him, and you know, and other things, and City, and you know, and you're just like. But
going back to what you were saying before, it's about establishing, and maybe it won't happen this summer, but it's about establishing a way of playing, the players that fit into it, and then you are just swapping and changing, because you've got your basis of this. And I think we spoke about this before, I think we spoke about this last summer probably. It's about getting your players and then going, well, this is what we need, this is our base, this will get us, what, I don't know, 7th or something, you know, and then saying, well, you know what, that lad does the job that I want him to do, but I want an improvement on that. And it's just this summer, and again, it's a fucking ball ache because it's wasted opportunities in the past. It's about looking at those players and going, well, you don't fit the system. You don't fit. So that's what he's got. That's the first task he's got before we talk about bringing players in. It's about establishing who fits in. And then, you know what? Who knows? You know what I mean? It could be players that we think, oh, you're great. He might go, you don't fit my system. You're not. This isn't going to work. Let's get this sorted right now. But what would be the one position you'd look at?
It's interesting this, because I would have probably said a toss-up between a left winger and a centre-back before we've had this conversation. But the more I think about it, it probably is the centre of the park, because and we do need the two positions I've just said. There's no question about it. I think Lookman and another, we need to allow Lookman to have his dip, or for Lookman to you know, whether that's Lozano or whether it's Maddison, the kid from Norwich, or something like that. But I think the more I think about it, there's been games in that centre of the park where we've just been rolled over because we can't compete in there, and that's been the issue. And even the derby at Goodison, when Liverpool had made a few changes, no, let's not kid ourselves, wasn't a reserve side by any stretch of the imagination, but they'd made a couple of changes in the centre of the park, and they still controlled the centre of the park. Now, if they'd have gone with that team to even Arsenal, I think Arsenal would have bossed the midfield. Maybe not Arsenal, but someone like Spurs, United would have bossed that midfield. And that's the level you've got to get to. So you've got to aspire to that. And when I look at ours, we don't go away and boss it.
We don't boss it anyway.
And that's it. And you don't boss it because you haven't got that midfield.
I always look at games of footy, and I always look at how much control you actually have of the game, and how much control. And you've said it there about away games. We're so bad at away. We've been so poor in the last couple of years in away games, just because we don't control games. Huddersfield was the first game for a very long time that we controlled the game. We always looked in control of the game, and that comes from, you know, that comes from a good mindset. I think is a big important thing. It's approaching the game the right way, but it's about keeping the ball, having someone in midfield who can use the ball, and I just think that's why it's so important. I think that's why Tottenham become the force they become. You know, the likes of Dembele in the middle of the park, the likes of Wanyama in there as well, Eriksen, how good he's become. It's about having players who just, when they get the ball, it looks effortless. Whereas I look at our midfield and I just think everything's a fucking slog. Yeah. Everything.
Can't pass a ball 5 yards.
Exactly. If you can't pass a ball 5 yards, and the game now is so set up for the teams to be going bombing on one way, and then especially with the full-backs. And I think if you've not got control of a game, or players haven't got confidence, especially full-backs, especially someone like Baines, he's not going to go forward. He's not going to gamble. None of your players are going to gamble, and that's what leaves your centre forward isolated. If your players are going, well, I'm not gambling because I've watched him play, or someone that's got to drop off in midfield, so then suddenly you've only got one up front, or Walcott's going to... If players start coming looking for the ball because they don't have faith in the players in midfield, it's going to leave you isolated up front. And I just think that's why that's such an important area. I think it can also hide a multitude of sins as well.
Yeah. Same with your goalkeeper, isn't it? Your goalkeeper, if you have a good keeper, save you so many points. And people will look and go, oh, well, yeah, you know, he's a good steady keeper, it's alright, as long as your defence good, you don't need. But good goalkeepers get you points by big performances. Centre of the park, if you can go and win the midfield battle, or you have an element of control. That's why under Roberto Martinez, we won, and it's ridiculous, I know, but we won the possession so many times because we did have an element of control with Gareth Barry, James McCarthy and Ross Barkley when they were the triangle, because Barry and Barkley were good on the ball and McCarthy was able to press. We had a lot of control. Now, okay, the wide areas weren't great, so we didn't punish teams the way we should have done, but that access gave us control of the ball, and that was Gareth Barry really. He came in and got hold of it and started picking it off. Now, okay, if he'd have been able to get up and down, we'd have gone up another level, and if we would have been able to support Rom from right and left, You know what I mean? If Walcott would have played with Lukaku and you would have had Lookman with Lukaku on the other side and that access when it was good, it'd have been a different team again.
Yeah.
So it's about...
Also with Silva, I think he wants to press and he wants to play on the counter attack, and you need a centre midfielder in there who can do both those things. Who can press to the point of, you know, and I think Garner actually would go up a level if he had someone in there as well. If he had someone, I think Garner would look a much better player. He had other players around him who pressed. So I think, as I say, I think someone who can just press, who can grab the ball, and then suddenly you're going, and someone who can take a stride with the ball and is moving forward. That's so important. It's what the best teams have. Someone who can transition really quickly. You know, Ross could do that. I think we lost a lot of that when Ross went, but obviously he wasn't the full packet. But suddenly you've got wingers like Lookman. Look at Lookman does well. You know, he wants to spring. He wants to run into space. He doesn't want to attack, necessarily take players on. He wants to run into space. If you catch a team on the flip, you know, it's why Liverpool are so impressive at counter attacking. It's because they're on you. That's why they've gone but that's why they somewhat have identified that area as the big place. They've ripped up the midfield and gone, we're going to start again because we've got the front three right, but we want to spring them more and more and more, and that's about catching other teams, and it'll work for them. It really will. It's why United have ended up the season not winning anything, because actually they just don't transition.
No.
They look so sluggish when they, you know, I think that's why he doesn't like Pogba. It's because when Pogba gets on the ball, he doesn't really go through the gears quick. He's a magnificent footballer. When he goes through the gears, fucking hell, he looks fantastic, but he doesn't want to go through the gears. He wants to be this like show pony. Whereas the top side,
that's why he'd be better as a 10.
It's when,
because he could get away with it.
But the top sides, they want to. Eriksen gets the ball for Tottenham when he's going. They're gone. You know,
shitty.
De Bruyne and Silva. I know they do it in a slightly different way, but when they get on the ball, it's fucking hell. Catch, you know, follow me if you can, because everyone's moving. But there's an actual pattern to it, and it's not just random. Guardiola works on it every day, getting the fullbacks. You know? But that's why he targeted the fullbacks, because he wants a fullbacks.
But that's why I think Silva will make a big difference to us, because we'll be given a pattern to play. We'll be drilled every day. I think he'd be fantastic for people like Tom Davies. I think he'd be fantastic for someone like Lookman. Look at what he done with Richarlison. When Richarlison come in, you know, he was raw. He brought him in. Next minute he's turning it up for a few months down that, because he's direct and he was told how to play and encouraged to do what he does well. Lookman's got all the ability. If you look at his little cameos in Germany and the games he played towards the end, everything's in place there.
Knowing what to get out of them as well, though, isn't it? It's knowing that, you know, if you got someone like Lookman or Vlasic, if you got someone like that, and I'll throw Davis in this as well. You've got young players. If every game you play them and it's a different setup, then how are they going to know as a young player what's expected of them? You know it's about saying to them, this is how we play. So therefore, I expect you to play like this. So then you're coaching them, you're refining them to play in that system. Whereas if 1 week they're coming in and they're like, "I want you to play left midfield, and this is the way we're going to play," and then another game, "Oh, why don't you play on right midfield? But we're playing slightly different today." And the player's like, "Well, hang on, I've got to process all that, and then if I don't have a good game, and then how am I supposed to process how it's all supposed to fall together?" Whereas at least if a manager comes in from the start and says, "We're going to play like this," then I can say to you, "Well, you didn't play well because of this, but we can work on that." Whereas I just think up to now it's just been so,
everything's been scattergun over the last 12 months, and hopefully now we've got a little bit of clarity that we can all adhere to. Hopefully, you know what I mean? That's what we're hoping for.
Hopefully. Well, Matthew, I hope we've answered some of your questions. I know we couldn't go into absolute detail on some of the players, because I just don't think you can now.
It's difficult to know.
We're not scouts,
isn't it? It's difficult
to know, but we don't know exactly what they're looking for. But I hope with our positions that we've I I would just say we just need quality in 3 or 4 areas in the park just this summer, and then that helps you go. If we can get rid of 5 or 6 or 9 and bring in 4, let's say, but 4 quality players. Yeah. 4 quality players. You only have to listen to Pep Guardiola. He's won the league, but he hasn't won the Champions League, and he's saying, well, we just need a couple of players to replace the players that we're losing, and then everyone just needs to go up a little bit by themselves. That's it. And we just keep doing that, and that's all you can do.
There you go.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Who should we sign? Who should we be looking at? Any names? Any left field names? Any fans out there who study, you know,
the world,
Italy and Colombia and Papua New Guinea? Good league.
Let's go and get Kessie from Milan.
Do we? We'll get him.
Why not?
Big Frank.
Yeah.
Go and get him. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Matthew, for your suggestions. If you want to get your suggestion in, not only for the Tuesday topic, send us a video. We are only accepting videos because we want you to be part of the show. We don't want to just read out something. We want you to be part of the show. We want you to be the star of the show all summer and all next season with your reactions.
Build a community. Come on.
Building a community. Getting you involved.
Let's do it.
We'll see you later.